Welcome to today's video, guys. I've got something a little bit different, but also special for today's one that I think you're gonna really like. So, let me explain to you what's happening. Now, you guys know Marcus, he's been a big part of Chris's channel for a very long time, and he always helps him out. He's also helped me out a ton whenever I need it, and he never really asked for much or anything like that. As you guys know, he has a 180SX, and he hasn't been driving it much lately and been able to enjoy it after rebuilding it because the factory turbo on there, it died. It's leaking oil out of the seals whenever it's at idle, and it's bad. So he's been kind of just like put that on the sideline and has been waiting, I guess, to save up money to get a turbo. Now, Randy from Eliminate, if you guys watch his channel, you know he's been doing a really cool SR build for his S13, and he had some spare parts lying around. Now, I believe he has like an S14 and S15 turbo there. It's a T28, so I got him to package that up and ship it to me, which was a pretty good deal. So we're gonna go head to the post office and pick that up, and then I'm gonna give it to Marcus, and then hopefully we'll get that on his car tonight and he'll be able to boost. So it's just kind of like a way for, like, you know, obviously me and Randy did a nice little deal, but I wanna be able to give a little bit to Marcus and help him out and get his car running, because I mean, I need to hear some more SRs screaming around here that aren't in a Roadster, so let's get that sorted. So after literally a 40-minute wait at the post office in line, we got our boxes. One of these boxes, the biggest one, is for our buddy Marcus. Have you been all right waiting in the GTR?
It's hot out here. I did not think it was gonna take this long.
Me either, my guy. So this big box here is for you, my guy.
I had to get up.
You need a key or a knife or something to open this one. It came all the way from San Jose.
Mexico?
No, San Jose, California. From the boys are at Eliminate. There's a little hole in the side. Hope everything's okay. Now, I hope you don't have anything planned for tonight, because this is going to involve taking up all your time tonight.
Oh, I know. It's going to take a long time to do this. But we do have...
There she blows.
Nice turbo. Oh yeah.
You even got a downpipe with it. That's a score.
Right?
Might need to fix that up a bit, but
yeah,
a little cracky, but I mean, you can't complain about that. We'll fix that. Easy as. So what is that, a T28? Nice. What's the shaft play feel like? We're good. All right. Okay, well, we're losing packaging everywhere. So now that Marcus has finished work, he's wasting no time and already ripping into it. If you guys have ever replaced a stock turbo on any RB, SR, CA, just Nissan in general, the factory hard lines are a bitch. So this is going to be interesting. But are you excited, Marcus?
I'm excited to make more power.
More power? I mean, it should do all right. I want to have a closer look at the turbo, actually, because I think... from looking at it, I'm pretty sure it's an S14 one, because it's journal bearing. It's definitely not ball bearing. It's got the bigger inlet here and stuff, so I'm pretty sure it's for the S14. But I won't know 100% until I see it side by side with the one that he has on there. We're obviously not going to be using this downpipe either, so we'll, I don't know, what was going on there, Randy? While Marcus is working on getting the turbo out, I'm working on a whole bunch of sensors and wiring for the Miata. The first thing I'm actually working on is a IAT sensor, which is all the way down in here. Now, the most important thing about running an IAT sensor with a Mega Squirt on a Miata is, depending on where you're located in the States or wherever your car is, the temperature in the air changes all the time, and so should your map and tune and things like that. It should put you in different cells and things like that depending on the temperature. The colder the air, the more denser it is, the more boost essentially, which is why, if you don't know, when people, you know, it's a nice cold day out, everyone calls it boost weather. That's why colder air is better. So we're going to be putting an IAT sensor probably in here or on the other side where you can't see it. That's going to get welded in by Harvey, because this nice GM IAT sensor comes with a nice bung and everything for us to weld in. But to wire this in to the Mega Squirt, we're going to actually be splicing into the old airflow meter plug. These two wires here are going to go to the IAT sensor, so I'm going to run some nice wiring in under the front here and around to where that sensor is going to be. The other things that we're wiring in today will be the boost solenoid for boost control. We've also got here a ethanol content sensor. So this is so that it'll be able to switch and change maps for, you know, when you guys fill it up with E85 compared to 93. And if there's, you know, you've got a mixture of both, it'll go to the 93 tune. This is just so it'll just change depending on what gas you put in it. And that's pretty much it. And those wire into this special plug that plugs into the side of the ECU with all these little pinouts and stuff. So we'll be doing that as well today. So I'm working on getting the ethanol content sensor in right now on the return side. It's already drawn blood somehow. I don't really know how that happened, probably with the hose clamp, but that's in a bit of pain. I think Marcus is about to pull this turbo. All right, yep, I'll take the dipstick. Here she comes. Ooh, yeah.
Trying to get it out without scratching or taking anything else off.
There she is. Put that thing down next to this thing. Look at the size difference of that compressor housing.
Yeah, I know, right?
What? So yeah, S14 turbo, S13 turbo.
Oh, we're making a lot more boost of that
Oh,
thing.
you are, for sure. Huge difference. Just look at these things side by side right here.
Massive.
Jeez, boy. That's why you get an S14, S15 turbo, because damn, she's gonna be boosting a lot more. Are you pumped?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So Okachan all day pretty much, he'll make 350 horsepower off these like no problem. He's even stretched these out, the S15 ones, the ball bearing ones out to 400, but they didn't last long at that power figure. What do you want now with this thing?
With that, we are over spooling it to 20 psi.
Yeah, but how much power did you make with it?
220.
220. Yeah, so this thing, I know for a fact they're capable of 350. So, hell yeah, buddy.
We're on a ride.
You're gonna be boosting for sure. And even the rear housing's a lot bigger on this too. So you're definitely gonna be spilling a lot more.
Though, I think.
You might need to clock it a tiny bit. Yeah, that was one thing I was worried about too, but we'll make it work.
Yeah.
All right, so a little update. I'm planning to cut the rest of this off after I check these other wires and whether or not we can use those for any other sensors. But essentially my new IAT sensor wire comes all the way out here with these other wires for the horns and stuff, goes all the way around, back in here, and comes out here, and then it's gonna plug into the sensor, which will be down in there. On the back, probably around near where the BOV is. And this is the wire that I used. I actually did a really cool trick that I learned off a friend who does a lot of auto electrician wiring, where I put the other end in like a vise, and then I put this end into a drill, and I just turned it on and twisted it all the way up. And then before I took it out of the drill, I then taped it all up so it was going to hold a nice twist all the way through. So a good little trick for you guys. And then we'll be cutting this to length and putting these two pin crimps on here and the connector for the IAT sensor. So that'll be there sitting ready for when we weld that in. And then what else do I have to do? The boost controller solenoid. So I want to make like a little mount for it here is my goal. And we may even, I mean, I don't want to have it up and down like this, but I figure we might as well try to put it here. Worst case scenario, we'll just zip tie it there if we have to. But something like there to actually use that piece of metal that's there for a bracket for the diagnostics port, it'd be sick to use that for this use case as well. So maybe I can make a nice little bracket that'll allow us to bolt it in there. That'll be cool. So I'll run some wiring for that too. Probably gonna run it in to the like under the dash and then to the ECU that way. But yeah, it'd be also cool when I finish checking the pin out of the rest of these wires here, if I can use that for the boost solenoid, because that'll just save me so much time. Currently making the wire for the boost solenoid. Here we go, boys. Get that twist happening. Ooh, she's looking good. There we go. That's what I like to see. Look at this. See? Perfect. We could even go a little bit more as well. And then you just start taping it. Just a little quick trick that I learned. This is both frustrating and so satisfying at the same time. Wrapping this entire stretch of wire. I was just thinking I didn't really explain this too well, but I used the same color wire for this particular wrap because I'm just dealing with solenoids, which are not like, the polarity isn't important. So there's no like negative or positive, you can put it to any side. So that's why I use the same color in this aspect for sensors or things like that don't require polarity. And now this is the end result. Really nice twisted pair here, completely wrapped in electrical tape. Really nice. Now ideally, this would look even better if it looked like the wiring that came with my ethanol content sensor with this nice little sheath and a bit of heat shrink. That would look way better in my opinion. But we work with what we've got, and this still looks really good in my opinion as well. So Marcus is just buttoning up his new turbo, and as you can see, he gave it a nice little clean with some brake cleaner. Got a nice HKS actuator on there now as well. This thing's gonna be really nice. I bet you're pumped to try it out too. It's gonna be very cool.
I am, but I just don't want to hit like full boost because it's not gonna be tuned for this.
Oh, 100%, yeah. For sure. Because this thing's gonna hit probably a little bit later in the rev range. It's probably not gonna spool as fast, so.
Yeah.
It'll be definitely a little bit of a different. Have to see if Jack can throw it on the dyno for you tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be cool. Anyways, it's time to sit this thing in, I think. So I was just having a look at Marcus's old turbo, and I don't know if the camera's going to show this too well, but this thing has forwards and backwards play like I've never felt before in one of these. It's bad. Could be saved though and rebuilt for sure, but it's just not worth it. Anyways, when you don't have the right tool for the job, you make it. I like his stance, one hand behind the back, making sure he doesn't get hurt. So as you can see, Marcus has been pretty busy. There are a fair few key differences when you're putting on an S14 turbo onto an S13. The main thing is the compressor housing here. This is now at like a 45-degree angle instead of coming straight up. So we definitely need a different coupler for his intercooler piping here. So yeah, it's just a straight piece. We have a 45 here that's going to fix that. Other things are you need to stretch your hard lines to make them work if you don't have like a braided line kit. So those were in a different spot. Luckily we didn't break them. We were able to get them flexed into the right spot. Some other key differences, what were they? I can't remember. Was that it? Mainly that's it. It's a lot bigger too, so it's harder to squeeze in there. You got to bash down on the engine mount. Yeah, so you got to watch the engine mount here. There's like a little dust shield there that we kind of just bash with the hammer to make it clear. It's kind of crazy actually, like just the size comparison from the S14 and S15 turbo compared to this little baby 180. Oh yeah, that's another thing is the 180 turbo or the S13 turbo has studs in the compressor housing for this front guy. So he's currently extracting those to then put onto this. But yeah, we're in the home stretch now. We should be able to get everything to work, and then hopefully everything's going to be okay. Oh, one other key difference was it does seem like the downpipe was a little bit of a different size, and Marcus had to drill out some of the holes to make it clear. So we didn't opt for using the turbo elbow that actually came with the turbo, which is over there. There was a few cracks in the welds and it looked a bit sketchy, so we decided to just go with the cast one for now till we can get another new one. You must be pretty excited right about now to be able to put this together and drive it home, right?
I'm just hoping that all this MacGyvering didn't make it didn't like carve anything.
That's a good word, right? You know,
I've never heard that word before.
Who?
You've never heard that word before?
No, I have.
No, it's a good word to use right now.
Yeah, I've been trying to teach it to Chris. He had never heard it until I said it to him. And he was like, what's MacGyver? And I had to explain it to him and show him the TV show. Yeah. But no, yeah, I think it's going to work. I knew about this, but I didn't know about like the water lines and oil lines and stuff. But hopefully, hopefully this thing gets to drive in a little bit. To say it wasn't a battle would be a lie, but we got everything working. This is definitely in a different position. The intake piping was completely clocked 90 degrees compared to what we're used to, but we managed to find a coupler to make this work and sit it there for now. And we had to trim this with the 45 to make that work there. But what's going to be happening tonight? You're going to be hitting what?
30 PSI.
No. It starts with a B.
Boost.
That's it. That's my guy. So yeah, I'm pretty keen. We might go for a little quick drive before we pack things up here. But obviously, he's not going to be hitting full boost. This thing's going to need a retune. The turbo's going to be peaking at different times in the map and stuff. So we need to obviously baby this thing. But enough talking. Let's just get out there and see what this thing sounds like. All right, here we go. Ooh, that cold start. She's rough. heard a bleed. Then we gotta make sure those turbo lines aren't leaking and we're all good. This thing is so loud, you can even hear the turbo like whistle. Sounds so good. Sound good? Feel good?
Yeah, just go straight lean the whole time.
Yeah, we're definitely not gonna be pushing this thing tonight. But the turbo works and it sounds good. Definitely gotta baby this thing, man. No hitting 20 PSI of boost tonight in this thing.
That wasn't even 20 PSI, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, no, not at all. Does it spool slower?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was like barely getting into boost. Yeah, it kicks in really late now, but like, when it kicks, it's hard.
Hell yeah. All right, well, hopefully Jack's got some time tomorrow to fit this thing on the dyno.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And then this thing will be running mint, and you'll be running all the boost.
All of it. Might have to turn it down, but.
Yeah, I think you're going to. We wound that actuator a little bit too much. So there we go, that's a wrap. Tomorrow you'll have to find out to see what numbers Marcus makes in the 180 now with the new turbo. I think it's gonna be sick. Like, I've been dying to see that thing running at its full potential the entire time that I've been here. And now that he's got that turbo on there, he's gonna be able to make way more power. I'm definitely thinking he's gonna be hitting probably around 300 unless there's any other limiting factors with his build. But yeah, tomorrow's gonna be sick. He's gonna be pushing way more horsepower. It's gonna be really, really cool. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Marcus, are you happy? Yeah. He's pretty pumped, but it's also late, so we want to go home. So thanks for watching, guys. Smash that like button, write us a comment. See you all tomorrow. Peace out. Jamata.